Thanks for joining us. I'm Tamika Alexander. First at 10, the storms that rolled across Alabama today left damage all around the area. Strong winds led to trees being knocked down throughout central Alabama. Now, this is video from Moore Hall, not far from the president's mansion. You can see the trees are split into several pieces. Also on the University of Alabama campus, heavy winds threatened to uproot power lines. University police had to block the westbound lane of Paul Bryant Drive at the 8th Avenue intersection. Police were there for several hours as Alabama Power corrected the leaning pole. Nearly 200,000 Alabama Power customers were without power during peak outages this afternoon. The storm also blew a few trees down in other parts of the area. Damage is being reported all across central Alabama. Roof damage is being reported, as well as downed trees and power lines. At least 5 people were injured in one North Alabama community. One Tuscaloosa person who witnessed the high winds said they weren't really sure what to do.
It just started going crazy, like so fast. Actually, like sand and grass started like pelting us, got in our eyes. We like ran back to the car really quick.
And speaking of all that wet weather out there, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now. Hey, Richard, busy day for you today.
Yeah, really busy today, but not a single tornado warning. This was a tornadic type storm, so had a tremendous amount of straight line wind damage across the northern half of the state, mainly north of I-20. Some of the most significant damage. There were some injuries reported across North Alabama with the squall line that moved through. But the good news is tonight, hey, things are quiet. Only a little bit of rain happening down over Marengo County, some rain and thunder also over southern Sumter County, but that's not severe. No more severe weather expected overnight tonight. Things are too cool around here. Things are stable, and that's a good thing. 55 in Tuscaloosa, 58 in Birmingham, 50 back in Tupelo. We'll notice some cooler air slowly settling in late tonight. Most spots in the mid-40s by tomorrow morning at daybreak, so it'll be a cool start to the day. A light north breeze. But what about that weekend forecast? Look ahead, plus look at the 7-day planner coming in weather, so stick around.
Allergies do not care how old you are or how busy your schedule is, as temperatures here in central Alabama are rising. So is the pollen count. WVUA's Molly Mitchell gives us some tips on how to keep a clear head this spring.
It all starts with a bee. It goes to a flower, and then it's swept away with the wind. Pollen. It's collecting everywhere, from the sidewalks you walk on to the car you drive. And its effects can ruin far more than the looks of a freshly washed car.
Like water in my eye, my nose was stuffed, I had a horrible headache all day. It just felt like achy and gross, and I thought I was getting sick, but I went to the doctor and they just said it's just allergies.
This yellow powder strikes just as people are getting out of the winter blues.
Pollen season is any time when the flowers and trees start producing pollen, which usually happens in the early spring, usually early to mid-March. We start getting the allergy sufferers out there. You really start to notice it.
From the moment you are attacked, symptoms can set in fast.
You know, allergies or cold type symptoms can certainly occur in a few hours. So certainly it's feasible to go to bed and wake up the next morning sick. So that's not uncommon, actually.
When your head is spinning from an allergy attack, Dr. Crawford says to swing by your local pharmacy. Pick up any over-the-counter allergy relief medicine.
And try that for a day or two. And if you're not getting better, then certainly seek medical attention from your primary care doctor, from some of the clinics in town.
And who said rain is a bad thing?
A lot of times that cleans the atmosphere, so all the pollen that's in the air, it's washed out by the rain.
Dr. Crawford says taking vitamin C can help some people, but the best way to avoid symptoms is to limit your time around pesky pollen. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, I'm Molly Mitchell for WVUA News.
And you can get your pollen forecast during the summer right here on WVUA News and on the weather page of WVUATV.com. According to Alabama Chief Justice Roy Moore, the state's court system has $38 million less now than when he first took office back in 2001. WVUA's Travis Leader is in downtown Tuscaloosa tonight and spoke to state court departments today. So Travis, what are they saying about these tighter budgets?
Tamika, they say they're doing just enough to get by. Now, I spoke with some local district attorneys and circuit clerks, and they tell me they have increased workloads and less staff to handle it all.
You imagine the funnel, you put a whole lot of cases in the top, well, they can only come out as quickly as the bottom will allow.
Smith says this funnel makes each case take much longer, going from law to order.
Their work can't get through the court system, and victims can't have their cases tried if we don't have the personnel to do it.
Because of slashed budgets, another service cutback is going to happen at your local circuit clerk's office.
Our office will be closed to the public, on Wednesdays, and people need to plan around that. Passports, filing papers.
While people seeking court services are seeing delays, another 300 court workers may lose their jobs under some budget proposals.
Some of them, of course, are literally worried about their job, and I try to reassure them, but if the budget keeps getting cut, then I can't reassure them.
They hadn't had a raise, and they're asked to do more work for the same pay, and it's not fair. But what can you do about it?
Now, Bobo says closing the circuit clerk's office on Wednesdays will help them catch up on paperwork, but she also says Thursdays will be more like Mondays with more people asking for their services. Reporting live in downtown Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
Now to news from Pickens County, where some wild animals are wreaking havoc in the area. Law enforcement officials tell us there are 4 wild wolves in the area of Gordo and Pickens County. The wolves are being blamed for the deaths of several heads of cattle and other animals in that community. One WVUA viewer sent in these pictures of the wolves captured by a game camera in the woods near Gordo. Law enforcement have been able to kill one of the wolves, but the other 3 remain on the loose. The cities of Auburn and Tuscaloosa are always in competition with each other, and this time Auburn won. The Department of Labor announced that Auburn was the #1 metro area in Alabama for job growth during the year of 2012. But Tuscaloosa followed close behind, taking second. WVUA's Emily Forrester explains.
2012 brought 2,200 jobs to the city of Tuscaloosa, according to a study by the Department of Labor.
There are several entities working with local government to grow jobs and add jobs to our economy.
Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Jim Page says the University of Alabama, the Mercedes plant, and retail businesses have all exhibited major growth, adding jobs to the area. Alabama Fire College Executive Director Alan Rice says the field of public safety also displays an increase in open positions.
We are starting to see more job openings in the field of public safety. Many individuals who had held off on their retirement over the last few years because of the economy have now decided to go ahead and move out of the workforce, and so that's opening up spots for younger people.
Page says the positive climb is also due in part to tourism.
Tourism is a major economic development. Bringing tourists to town and people from outside of town to spend money is certainly a part of economic development.
And having a stronger economy helps boost morale among citizens.
We always say a rising tide floats all boats, and so when there's increased jobs and the unemployment rate goes down, the tax base certainly grows. So that creates more consumer confidence for people to shop and to live here.
I think that's wonderful news for the Tuscaloosa metro area, and I hope that it is a sign of things to come for the entire state of Alabama.
The Chamber of Commerce hopes the job market will continue to grow at a steady rate. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Emily Forrester, WVUA News.
Page says the increased amount of jobs has also given Tuscaloosa the opportunity to recruit new residents to the area. Well, the city of Northport has officially named a new police chief. In a unanimous vote, the Northport City Council voted for interim police chief Kerry Carr to become the full-time police chief. The council members all agree that Carr will further the Northport Police Department in his new role. This decision comes after a review of the department showed lack of institutional control and low morale within the force. Carr has been the interim chief of police for more than a year and a half. He says being chosen for this position is very humbling.
Well, I'm very honored that I was selected to be the police chief for the city of Northport. You know, there were so many good candidates that applied for this job. It's just a real honor to have this bestowed upon me.
Carr says he hopes the police department continues to move forward in its service to the city of Northport. And in Tuscaloosa County, there's a new sheriff in town tonight. Governor Bentley appointed Billy Sharp to take over the position. Sharp has served in law enforcement for more than 30 years. In 2012, Sharp retired from the Alabama Criminal Justice Center, then joined the Tuscaloosa County Metro Homicide Units who help solve cold cases. The governor says Sharp will serve as the sheriff while they continue to conduct interviews for the position. Sharp replaces Sheriff Ted Sexton, who retired to take a new job with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office in California. A Birmingham man has pleaded guilty to threatening President Barack Obama. Authorities say Jarvis Britton used the social networking site Twitter to threaten the president. Prosecutors say last September he tweeted the message, "Let's kill the president, fear." Britton was indicted last fall on charges he knowingly threatened to kill, kidnap, or inflict bodily harm on the president. He will be sentenced June 20th. In the day ahead, tomorrow marks 10 years since the U.S. military action against Iraq began. Bombs pounded Baghdad on that first night as then President George W. Bush took to the airwaves announcing the invasion had began. Iraqi President Saddam Hussein was eventually caught, tried for war crimes, and executed in the following years. The country began rebuilding a short time later. Now the U.S. has stopped all military action in the country and is beginning to withdraw all troops from the area.